The Tangent Egg podcast is aimed at a mature audience. It contains themes that are not appropriate for all listeners. It's important to note that we are not experts. We routinely have no idea what we're talking about and are just three idiots sitting around a table. Listener discretion is advised.
Welcome to Tangent Egg Podcast. I'm Seth, and as always with me are Swoosh and John Doe.
Hi!
Hello! Right, I'm just going to get it out of the way super quick. I know there's been a lot of stuff, of course, coming out of America with all of the stuff after Trump. Yeah, we're not going to talk about it.
It's all.
I know a lot of.
It's all American next season spoilers. We don't want to deal with that yet.
Yeah.
Until the season kicked off, we know where the writers are at. There.
We want to be surprised by the devastation.
I mean, I'll know about it, but I don't really want to talk about random.
This is random tangents, not
and how these guys suck.
Bullshit.
Yeah.
So until something actually happens, we're probably not going to talk about it. So if you were hoping we'd break it down every week for you, no, we're not doing that.
There are better people to see for that. Just go watch Philip.
Go watch almost anybody else.
Yeah. Watch someone in America break it down because they're going to know more than we do.
Yeah, 100%.
We won't talk about it until war were declared. Looks like war were declared.
Once he's like, I've nuked North Korea, it's like, okay, cool, I guess we're going to talk about that.
That's what that fallout is.
Knowing our luck, the second we finish this podcast.
100%.
Every time.
So, you guys want to talk about power scaling on characters?
Yes. It annoys
Wow, that was...
I have very firm ideas on this. I got started on the Dresden Files early, and that fucking power scaling is bad.
Yeah. But that's better than what they've been doing. So the thing that kicked this off is that we watched a video of a guy talking about what's happening with the character Miles Morales these days. The current Spider-Man, I don't think there's another one.
I think it's the current main universe Spider-Man, yeah.
Yeah. And how his powers went from, I can turn invisible and kind of zap people, to my electricity powers are so powerful that I can bypass godly defenses with it. He is capable of forging those energies into actual physical weapons like a sword.
Yeah.
His spider sense is so good, he can actually see people through walls, and now they've made him a vampire. And in the current MCU setting, vampires aren't even affected by sunlight.
I don't understand why they're making him a vampire. I liked him when he was really just, he could turn invisible and he could shock a few people. Now he can outshock Thor, essentially. He can knock Asgardians on.
It's becoming very much like my first D&D character, that little kid who's drawn a picture, and now he can do this, and he can do this, and he's super strong, and he can do this now, and he's the coolest and the most powerful and the strongest ever. Just fucking stop! Someone take the crayon away from the child.
It's one of those things where they get stuck in a loop, because we've seen it happen in comics and movies and stuff before, and books to a very large degree, where they think the only way for a character to progress is to give them a bump in power. It's like, we have to boost them up. No, just use shit effectively. I used to love the Dresden Files originally because Dresden used magic in weird and interesting ways. Things that no one else did. And then they started giving him weird powers, he became the champion of winter at one point. I think he still is. He was a ghost for a while, which was fun, but then they gave him a terrifying island stronghold from it. But
yeah, I mean the point, the thing is though, the Dresden Files feel like they got to a logical power creep of the character.
Yeah.
This feels like giving power to a character just to give them power.
It really does. It doesn't feel earned in any way.
I'm going to freely admit right now, haven't read it.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's been a logical progression to get from here to there, but it doesn't look like it. At least when you go, the wizard eventually started talking to basically godlike beings, it's it kind of makes sense for a wizard.
Yeah.
The dude who's supposed to protect one city in the US having this much power is really?
At that point, someone should turn up and snap him out of New York. Be like, all right, cool. You're too strong for this. There's other heroes around here. Just palm it off to someone lower, and you're now going to be looking after a bigger area. But
especially because there's a couple of hero groups who run out of New York.
Oh, there's so many of them.
Not just the individuals. I mean, you've still got Daredevil micromanaging the shit out of Hell's Kitchen.
Oh yeah.
But I think the Defenders do include Daredevil.
Yeah.
But you've got characters groups like that of superheroes that look after New York. You don't need
Add the fact
I mean,
that...
in a lot of current fiction, Iron Man is stationed in New York.
Yeah.
Not
It's
just Iron Man, but like Rand Industries, every big tech thing in Marvel is always based in New York. New York is lousy with superheroes. It should be the safest place in the fucking world.
And now you've got Vampire Miles running around there. It's just like, this is too much power on a character that's looking after too small an area.
Yeah. The vampire
at
thing is
least-
what throws me.
Yeah.
Like,
Look, they've done some plot lines with characters in Marvel Comics that are like, they run them for a long time, and then it's like, what are you doing? And then
Yeah.
they go like, oh, here's your payoff? I just don't know what the payoff for making him this fucking powerful is.
If
he'll probably
you
be the thing
make
they
him
throw at
powerful
Thanos
enough,
next.
then the villain that finally knocks him down is the next big villain for the entire fucking Marvel universe.
Yeah. They might be doing just the way that Squirrel Girl became such a big thing. It's probably like they're trying to pull that off again, but doing it in a very strange way.
Yeah, but Squirrel Girl was a joke.
It was also due to their weird power ranking thing for a while, because for the longest time, like, Marvel's stuff was, oh, this person beat this person, which means they must be better than them. They're stronger. And then she outmaneuvered someone and became basically God. It was a
Yeah, but
strange
again,
thing.
she was a joke character.
Yeah. It was fun.
Like, they don't treat her like a joke, but you know what I mean. Like, she's there for comic relief. The fact
Yeah.
that she's... It's like the fact that everyone's like, Chopper's a giant war criminal in Star Wars.
Yeah.
Arguably, yeah, he blew up battleships in the combat zone. Like, we do that.
Yeah, that's the thing that
He's
happens.
not a war criminal for it, but it's a fun thing. Same
Yeah.
thing with Squirrel Girl being like, she's the strongest character in Marvel. It's a fun joke for the fan.
Yeah.
It is. But this just feels weird. Like, they've tried
No,
to do...
yeah.
That's, oh, the really strong character everyone loves. Like, yeah, but we like Miles because he was relatable, and now you've given him so much more power that he's really not relatable anymore.
Like, the Spider-Man character in general was popular because it was relatable.
Yeah.
I mean, isn't the unwritten rule that Spider-Man can never be happy?
Peter Parker can't be happy.
Yeah, that's true. Parker can't be happy. So Morales is free of that curse. He's allowed to be happy. That poor bastard.
So how much responsibility does he have now? With the power creep, the inverse responsibility must have also increased, which it hasn't.
That's why it's kind of weird. He's still just in New York to me. Like, it's, you know, with great power comes great responsibility for this one city. Nowhere else. Fuck the world. Just the city.
Again, this is why I like openly admit I haven't read it. I don't
Yeah.
know what's going on in the current comic books.
We've got a mate
But
who's very comic-based. I might ask him this weekend.
It's just hard to look at it and go, this, like, it just screams of power creep on a character. It's like, how do you continue to write that?
Yeah. Well, I think it's very hard to write that kind of stuff when you've given them that much power. It's like, what do you throw at them next? You have to have something bigger.
Unless you have an end goal.
Yeah.
And
Which
I
hopefully
like
they
to
do.
think they do, but
Normally
it
Marvel's
feels
pretty-
weird looking in.
Marvel's normally pretty on top for, like, end goal stuff and building towards something, but sometimes you get one writer who doesn't know what they're doing and does some weird shit. But
This feels
yeah.
like they've given a big character to the intern, who is just trying to make a character that everybody loves.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
So he's going to have Spider-Man powers, but he's got to be unique. So we'll let him turn invisible and shock stuff. And laser swords are cool right now because Star Wars is a thing. So we'll make him let him do electric laser swords, and that'll be dope. And you know what's really cool because Deadpool and Wolverine brought back Blade, and so he's popular. Let's make him Blade.
That is probably the most, like, logical way it went to. It's like, oh, Blade's popular again. We'll make him the new Blade. Like, no, please. Make a different Blade. Do better.
Yeah.
So we found out one of the groups who was making that big push for Google to get rid of all of those torrent results. It was Crunchyroll.
Fucking Crunchyroll. That is hypocrisy at its finest. That is like, please don't look behind the curtain. Don't, we're going to stop anyone else doing that thing we did and became a legit business from.
Well, that's the thing. They became a legit business, so they want everyone to forget that
Yeah.
they were once those people.
They were definitely those people.
It's very much the junkie that cleaned themselves up and now has like a part-time job. It's like those junkies shouldn't get anything. Like you got help. Like stop being
Yeah.
you.
Well, I
Stop
mean, the thing that got Crunchyroll to in its position was just the early landscape of getting licensed content for streaming in the West. And then they started locking it down really aggressively. God, I feel like we've been talking about companies doing that all the time.
Who would have thought?
At which point they basically screwed over everyone who likes anime in the West because they ate every competitor they ever had and didn't take any of the better technology those people were running and basically create the worst service for watching anime.
They would take something over, say, fuck you, we know better, and then just ditch out things that were working so much better than their system.
What's the minimum product we can put out that people will pay for?
What's the minimum product that they can put out that people will pay for when you're the only game in town?
Yeah.
They don't have a competitor in the West.
I find it rather annoying that these companies will do this kind of shit, blocking people out and restricting access, and then get shitty when people try and find another way around it. Especially when they came from that same place.
The thing that annoys me is that their competitors weren't competitors, they were better than them.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember when we first started this show, and I would instill the virtues of Anime Lab.
Oh, I fucking loved Anime Lab. It was great.
They were the fucking best. Their free tier was completely fair. Their paid option was pretty much, do you just want simulcast and HD?
And we take the ads.
How about dubs? You can get dubs if you pay us.
Yeah.
And that was their entire thing. And their streaming was butter smooth, worked great, and they had fucking Australian servers.
Yeah, which was fucking amazing.
So, you know, we actually got anime at a good bit rate.
Instead of having to run it for 10 seconds and then wait.
Now it's this company that's charging people through the nose for poor quality and service that are in the States. I actually wouldn't know if they've updated to Australia, but from everything I've ever heard from anyone who uses it, they fucking hate Crunchyroll.
I don't think I know anyone who still uses it. Like,
a little while ago, I couldn't find something I wanted to watch, and it was on Crunchyroll. So, shit. I hadn't used Crunchyroll before, so I'll get a free month, and the free month was a ripoff.
Yeah. Anything like popular, you can't get to.
Yeah. They do bad subbing. They've actually been accused on more than one occasion of using
fan subs.
AI-generated subs. So, like, you know, there's no actual thought into what the actual cultural context of a sentence is, so they can't rebuild it for an English audience. They just crap it out as is.
Yep.
Yeah. They're a pretty shite company for what they're offering
and
charging you for.
My favorite thing is every so often you see people complaining, it's, oh, they've gotten this bad. Like, no, they were always this bad, guys. They just had more access to shit. They were always horrible to the consumer. It's like, people sit there and go, oh, remember the good old days of Crunchyroll? It's like, there were no good old days of Crunchyroll. Just like there was no good B. Like, it's always been shit.
The argument there would simply be that back when they started, they were small enough that they only had a couple of major properties.
Yeah.
And so, you know, there wasn't a lot of stress on their server. They weren't big. You probably had a good time back then. But as they've made themselves into the market dominator, but haven't, like, conversely increased quality.
Yeah.
What do you fucking want?
Yeah.
I want quality anime at a decent price.
Well, if you like Gundam, they put it up for free every season on YouTube.
I do love that. That is pretty fucking good. Good old Bandai.
I didn't actually know they did that. I've been wondering if I should watch Gundam, or I felt like watching a mech.
Yeah.
So, alright, cool.
If you want to watch a bunch of incarnations of Shinji crying in a mech, absolutely. And then go watch Iron Blooded Orphan.
Yeah.
So... I love the fact that everything else is before this one. Like, Shinji, they basically have a Shinji-esque pilot crying, and then Iron Blooded Orphans is like, you know what? Fucking take away all the emotion. No emotion left. Sociopath.
They really don't always have a crying pilot. It's a fun joke. I have watched a bunch of seasons of Gundam. But the fact that IBO is so out of left field that people who aren't fans of Gundam fucking love IBO.
Yeah. It's great. Iron Blooded Orphans was fun. Definitely go watch that one.
Speaking of things you can go watch, we're going to be getting a Mass Effect TV series.
Neat. We know nothing about it, though.
When I first read that, I thought, well, as long as it's not done by the people who did Halo, how bad could it be?
Well, it's getting done by the guys who did Fast and the Furious 9.
Did anyone else get that shiver up their spine just then? Jesus Christ.
Family will defeat
so
the
now
Reapers.
Shepard's driving a fucking Charger now.
The Mako is just a Charger hopped up a bit.
You spent 3 games building a ship of family. And then you sacrifice them all at the end.
Look, all I'm going to say is Vin Diesel needs to be in it somewhere. I don't care where. I just want him in there, just so he can be in the background going, family. That's the only line he gets.
Shepard, whoever the main character is, I would actually really like them to not adapt anything to do with Shepard.
Yeah.
I do not want that at all. It would be awesome if there was some scene where the main character's really low and be like, what am I fighting for? And just randomly Vin Diesel's character walks up and puts the hand on his shoulder and just goes, family.
Yeah.
And then just walks away.
That's it.
No other lines, no other interaction.
Give him a Groot level thing, like mostly silent character.
No, he's not a character.
Yeah.
Just for that one scene where they're at their low point and asking what they're fighting for. Just shows up, says the line, walks away.
A drunk homeless guy on the Citadel as at a bar lamenting, just walks up, what are we even fighting for? Family! And then stumbles off and vomits in the corner.
Like, there was actually a thing me and my housemate were talking about, like, what would you want from a Mass Effect TV series? Well, a lot of people would want a lot of the grand space adventure, traveling around, all that kind of, the ensemble cast and whatnot.
Yeah.
What if you bait and switched everyone? And it's just CSEC on the Citadel. It's just a police procedural.
I would fucking
SVU
love that.
on the Citadel.
Would that not be the amount of alien races on the Citadel and watching them have to deal with it? I would be for that in so many ways.
A castle-style show on the Citadel.
Oh, yes.
And it's that reporter that follows Shepard around. And she's trying to write the story.
The one I punched in every game?
Of course.
Yeah.
Everyone did.
Oh, yeah. I want that guy just in the background doing horrible... Just getting punched. Like, every time he turns up.
It allows you to have a stable set, so you don't have to, create loads of sets and location shoots. You get to basically design one. Everything's the Citadel.
Yeah.
You already have inbuilt conflict because all of the disagreeing races on the Citadel... It's got plenty of locations that we've never seen, so you've got plenty of new content that you could give the viewers.
Yeah.
And given the fact that CSEC is made up of mostly humans, Batarians, Turians, and Asari, you've got most of your human-like races for your main characters, so you don't have to worry too much about makeup.
Yeah. Which is pretty good.
The only one that would be a problem would be the Turian.
Yeah.
But you could do it.
You just don't get someone allergic to latex, you'll be fine.
And you can get a pretty good animatronic for a Krogan.
Ooh, actually, with the new animatronics they have now, a Krogan would be really fun.
I mean, I've seen fan makes of Krogans and they look amazing.
They look great.
Oh, this is also being done by Amazon, so they're going to throw fucking money at it.
Amazon has been pretty good with their products recently for TV.
I mean, the last one they did was Fallout, and that was pretty fucking good.
Yeah. It's one of those things, I really like the stuff they make, but I hate the way that everything else about Amazon works. It's all fucked. But they make good TV.
Yeah.
But yeah, we might actually get a decent show. But like I said, I kind of really just want it to turn out to be a CSEC procedural. That would be really good.
I didn't know I wanted that until you mentioned it. And now it's all I can really think of. That'd be fucking great. I also don't want anything to do with Shepard. I want that away.
Same.
Yeah.
But here's how they should open it, though. It should, imagine this is like your double bait and switch. So, you then find out that the show isn't going to be a space opera, it's CSEC police procedural.
Yeah.
Show opens as if it's doing it's treating Blasto as a actual thing.
Yes! Fucking Blasto.
If anyone remembers Blasto, he's the Hannah actor who's supposed to essentially be 007.
Oh, it's so much fun. Every time anything for that appeared in the game, I would stop and watch it. It was great.
Yeah. Blasto's great. So, start the show off as, an actual thing for Blasto, and then toward the end of it, it only lasts for, 5 minutes. Have, the cut, whatnot, maybe they find a body, and then that's how you kick into the CSEC side of things.
Or, another way to start the whole season is, you've got your Shep, and it's Vin Diesel, the only time he's in the fucking thing, and it's the death of Shep, and they're trying to investigate that, and it's straight in procedural, and then the last episode of it is they've cloned him from the DNA sample, and then it's Fem Shep. You don't even see Vin Diesel again.
I would be okay with that. But oh god,
except for that wouldn't line up with the way the game lore works.
Yeah. I mean, they've never really listened to game lore and other things.
No.
But here we go.
Well, Mass Effect has listened to its own game lore.
That is true. But like,
well, that's the thing. We also don't know if this is going to be trying to fit in with any of the games, doing its own thing, being wildly separate. Who knows? That's why I'm like speculating on this idea of a CSEC procedural as being a fun twist.
I mean, if you really did that, and just at the end you have it, mention something about shit in the background, you could always have it just adjacent to the game.
Last shot of the show is Shepard walking under the Citadel.
Oh yes. Just wanted to go, I have a really good feeling about how the future's going. It's gonna be fucking great. Right behind him, like the N7's just docking. Just be great. I'd like that.
Oh, what's your current assignment? Oh, you need to escort the new human Spectre down.
Honestly, I think it would have to be in some way a comedy. I don't want to go completely serious space opera with it. I would like at least a bit of funny to it, because there were some great lines in those games.
There were, but the actual plot was very dry.
The plot was
quite serious.
Yeah, but the characters at least made it fun. Yeah, I'm kind of keen for that. We'll see how we go.
Don't do what you did with fucking Andromeda, where you had like characters who were just carbon copies of other characters, but slightly goofy.
Yeah. Goddamn.
Come up with interesting new characters. There's plenty of room in the Mass Effect setting for you to do your own thing. You don't need to piggyback it.
Yeah.
An entire galaxy. Figure shit out.
Yeah, pretty much. Keen.
Oh, like, you could actually, like, if you wanted to keep it kind of serious, you could dive into some of the side content. Like, Shepard casually blew up an entire star system in the first game.
Yeah. Imagine dealing with the fallout from that.
If you didn't know, that's why Shepard's in prison in the third game.
Yeah. For a very good fucking reason.
The Batarians basically come to the Citadel and like, dude, war crimed our entire star system. You've got to put him in prison.
You can't have him on the council. Stop that. Oh, God. Or you have the mass relays. You just have traders going around doing shit that way. You could basically build a new version of Firefly of people who just go between different places doing jobs. Just make the characters fun and unique. But they probably...
But at that point, I'm like, you may as well just make the Black Ocean.
Yeah. We can dream.
Seriously, someone stop being a pussy and do that.
Now, look, at the same time I want that, I can almost feel the monkey paw. And,
I know, right?
Like, the Halo director would somehow get a hold of it, and then I'd have to go and kill a man. But, yeah. Fucking monkey's paw.
So, some of the main researchers at OpenAI have basically pointed out that even the best model is pretty consistently getting shit wrong, because it either has the wrong information, pulls the wrong information, or just straight up hallucinates.
Yeah. Essentially, AI has dementia now.
And it's barely been out the box.
Yeah. Well, it's that thing where everyone's like, oh, AI progresses at such a fast rate. Eventually, that outstrips us. Like, yeah, it also seems to make it really easy for it to get dementia. Like, it...
Well, it's because it's outstripping its training data.
Yeah. It just...
And because you designed it to always create some kind of answer, it goes, I'll give you something.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's right.
Here, word salad.
Algorithmically, this makes sense.
Yeah. This is how the world should work, but it doesn't though. But it should.
And this is how you get your pizza toppings being stuck on your pizza with glue.
Yeah.
God damn. Look, AI just needs to slow the fuck down, I think. But it's not going to. It's out the box.
I mean, Google's already trying to get AI to run part of your computer for you.
Yeah.
I kind of get what they're driving at, but I don't want that. Because the idea is it's supposed to handle some basic background tasks, like, say you ordered the same thing from Coles every week. It would realize that you're doing that, and then on Mondays just do it for you, so you don't have to make that order anymore. It knows that you do it, so it'll just handle it. But, I don't want my computer just doing stuff.
No.
The funny thing is, that's going to end badly, because there are people who are very, stuck in routines. And just imagine being at home, and one day your screen just starts playing porn. It's 8:30. Here's the porn.
Cracks the algorithm and gets it to download more RAM. And suddenly everyone's computer is trying to download more RAM.
Look, didn't they also recently got leaked that it could basically control your computer? It could just
that's what it could do. It couldn't do anything outside of the browser.
Okay, that's good.
But it could do a lot of things in that browser, like spend your money.
You can do a lot of damage in a browser. Not gonna lie.
Yeah. Yeah, like the actual headline was something like Google's AI can control your computer. It can't.
Yeah.
But it can do a bunch of basic functions within a browser. And there are examples for things like buying or shopping for you. So you want to have your algorithm determine my shopping for me and spend my money.
I can almost hear Coles and Woolies giggling with glee at this point. Yes! Only the name brands!
I mean, have you ever had Coles Substitute?
I mean, yes, they are now the name brands, which is fucking annoying.
No, I mean, like that thing where like you buy from Coles and they'll be like, oh, we didn't have that, so we gave you the next best thing, and it's nothing like what you
ordered. Oh, yeah. No, every time.
So, the company I work for, they have a fridge where people can take drinks from.
Yeah.
And they buy, like, big boxes of soda so that they can always restock the fridge with more cans. They did an order from Coles, and they were like, oh, we didn't have any cans of Sunkist, so we gave you bottles of Sunkist. We hope that's okay. No, it's not. No. We needed cans.
Goddamn. No, it's like the worst I've heard, who happened to a friend, was they got garlic bread. They ordered garlic bread. But, we didn't have that, so you got the next best thing. It was just a baguette. It's like, no
you
garlic
butter. Long bread, right?
Yeah, the important thing was the bread, yeah? Yeah. Oh, God. I'd probably be a Karen at that point. Don't fuck with my garlic bread. Jesus Christ.
I know, right? Yeah, that's all that was, but like it's still I don't like that, and apparently it only works on Chrome. So I don't use Chrome, so no problem for me.
Another reason not to download Chrome. There are so many. Yeah. The fact that it wants all the RAM forever, even when it's not being used.
Yeah. So one of the Sony bosses has admitted that they're forcing people on PC to create PlayStation accounts is probably going to get some pushback, but it's all about keeping people safe in their game.
It's a very corporate way of saying, suck it, we're doing this anyway, get fucked.
Yeah, pretty much. They've been saying this since the earliest time I can remember it came up as a big deal was back when Minecraft was doing its big push to be multi-platform crossplay.
Yeah.
And we finally got Nintendo being like, we're going to creak open the fucking closed garden and let the Xbox people in. And Sony still wanted to sit in the background and go, no, we might get bad actors in our environment.
Do they? I get the feeling the guys who are making these decisions don't actually use the Sony network, because it's the whole thing of, we must protect people from these bad actors. Like, I'm sorry, guys, your system is already full of them. They have been.
There might be more bad actors than just us. We can't have this.
Yeah. Like, as long as there has been like any kind of chat system, there have been shit people.
Look, no, their argument is that because those people aren't part of PlayStation's network, they can't ban them.
I mean...
That's their argument.
Yeah.
Because you're outside our ecosystem, we can't control what you do and say and ban you if we don't like what you say. But if you're in our ecosystem, we can do that.
Yeah, they want themselves
It's not about shitty people or anything, because there's shitty people in your community.
Oh, there's so many of them.
It's just control. Yeah. That's it. And I still stand by my statement that their entire idea for PC isn't anything about control or anything like that. It's about making PSN look like it's not a shit dog pile.
And that's the only thing that's going to save that network at this point, because it's not doing great.
Sony's doing okay. They've seen a decrease in hardware sales, but that's expected. Like, that's what happens with consoles. They're a lost leader. You make your money back on game sales.
The weird thing for me is the fact that they brought out that new PlayStation Pro, and it's no better than the current one. Like, it's maybe a bit hard.
Nominally better. It's slightly updated, like, hardware, but unless you're sitting there and wanting to run it on a full 8K monitor, and you're not going to see the fucking difference. It's not going to make you any better at COD. It's not going to make you any better at fucking anything else.
You got to pay for the audio to get better.
Yes.
Although, while in the middle of their current... Oh, pardon me. They've been talking again because they of course got quizzed about Concord at their recent earnings call, and they pointed out that they were going to take a lot of the things they've learned from Concord and Helldivers and folded back into what they've been doing, but that they are recommitting their stance to make single-player content. So this is the first major crack I've seen in the wall of live services in the future. Even Sony's like, hey, guys, we are definitely still doing single-player stuff.
Are they, though? It's one of those things like, I'll believe it when I sees it kind of thing. Like, yeah.
It's what they're known for.
Yeah.
There was a fun meme I've passed around to people before, which is the Iroh teaching Zuko about the 4 elements, but it's to do with video games.
I like that one.
And like the thing he points out in that one, which I completely agree with, is Sony. It's beautiful single player experiences. That's their fucking thing. Stop with the multiplayer crap. It's not your fucking jam.
Go back to what you're good at. Like, it's nice that you tried and you experimented, but it didn't work.
Like share some of your single player experiences, and so the multiplayer experiences can be shared with you.
Yeah.
Or focus on the single player, and then you can throw a multiplayer thing on the side of it. Go the way.
I'm not saying you can't do multiplayer, but like
go the way of the old school CODs and everything, where you had a really decent campaign, it was fun, and then you could go play with your friends.
It's like I don't think of Sony and think of games that were multiplayer.
No.
I know I didn't play a lot of PlayStation. I was much more of an Xbox guy. But it's not something I think of. Like, when I think of, like, the 10 poles of Sony, it's a lot of single-player stuff.
Oh, yeah. For me, that entire console was built off the back of Ratchet and Clank. Like, that's what got me into it.
My Xbox, while I played a lot of single-player games on it, like, my current housemate, I've had the same housemate for almost 10 years. One of the things that really made us friends was sitting down and playing through Halo 1 through 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, we really sort of bonded and became friends over that.
That's a good trial by fire thing for like a friend as well. Like, sit there and play Halo with them, and if you don't kill them afterwards, good friend.
I'd say Halo's not that bad for that.
Depends on which one and what difficulty.
I think we were only playing it on like heroic. We weren't really going for legendary. I played those games on legendary. I don't really like just having an elite shove a plasma sword up my butthole 90 times.
Yeah.
I like to get a breath between the fistings.
Round a corner and get shot before you even see the fucking jackal with a sniper.
Yeah.
Like that level is a bit too hard. Even grunts are somewhat terrifying. It's like, how are you giving me trouble?
Yeah.
You are a grunt.
Look, all I'm asking you is to spit on that thing first. Is that too much?
Just a little bit. Oh, man.
But that was my Xbox experience.
Yeah.
I remember those, and playing Gears of War and stuff like that.
Gears.
Like the things I played with my friends, I played on my Xbox. Things I played on my own, I played on my PlayStation.
Yeah. Honestly, I have the same experience because I had both like PlayStation and an Xbox like throughout, and I have really good memories of playing Gears of War. Because I had just moved into my new apartment. I had just gone through a breakup, and a mate of mine came around with like the first 2 Gears of War games and 2 beanbags. Because I had no fucking furniture at all, and we just sat there and played games. It was great. Like the Xbox was always the social one for me.
Yeah.
And Sony was I play Ratchet and Clank, or I'd play through something. There was like a decent Transformers game on that at one point, which was quite fun.
War and Fall of Cybertron games.
Oh, they were great.
Yeah, they were.
Wait, was that the one that had the mini-cons in it?
No. No.
No, that one I played a lot of. That was on the PlayStation 2. I just can't remember what it was called. I'll figure it out later. But what was the one that you could unlock actual episodes?
That was one of the Cybertron games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was one of the
that was
first
the
ones.
second Cybertron game.
Dude, that was great. I spent a lot of time playing that because every achievement earned you an episode.
I mean, that's how you bait Transformers fans.
Oh,
Hey guys,
fuck
do you
yeah.
remember the 90s?
Look, if they did that again, I would happily buy that game.
I mean, I'm annoyed that they've never done another one in that style. It was really fun. You got to transform whenever you wanted. There were advantages to being in robot mode and vehicle mode. It was generally super fun. They made 2 excellent games, then just went, yeah, we're not doing that again.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're done with this. It's like, no, but why? Honestly,
Which is
I may
annoying,
download
'cause-
those games again. Fuck.
I know, right? Which is annoying because the newest movie feels like it would just, like, immediately just slot into that
fucking
style
oath
again.
it would.
Oh, it would. Alright, so we've all finally seen this.
Yeah, I
this
watched it the
movie.
other day. It's so good.
Yeah.
We never talked about that, did we?
Because you are the Transformers fan. Like you have
I'm
been
very much a Transformers fan. Fucking loved it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really enjoyed that movie. It was so good.
It was so good, right? Like the nonchalant references. I love.
I know.
Those.
It's like you don't have the touch, you don't have the power. Holy fuck, that broke me. I laughed so hard.
And the fact
at
that they have the original Optimus coming back, but as a one of the Elder Primes, like the first Primes, because he's the wizardy guy.
Well,
at least it's very close.
No,
to
well, he's still Orion Pax.
No.
He just gets the Matrix of leadership. That's what turns him into Optimus Prime.
Yeah, but they didn't use the voice actor.
No, they didn't. No. Which
the voice actor,
it's Hemsworth, I think.
Yeah, Hemsworth is
one for him.
Yeah,
Hemsworth is. But like the purple guy with the staff. I think they used his voice actor for that because you can't have a Transformers thing without the original voice actor.
I don't think they did.
Maybe it's just a really good version of it because I heard that and my brain went to Optimus Prime.
Yeah.
Like,
but yeah, and if you like, I went back and watched it again after I watched it the first time just to look at the background characters and like you can see like all the characters that will be in like the G1 Transformers are in there and in their pre-transformed state. It's like I know who that's going to be. I know who that's going to be.
You actually see Jazz in like his post-transformation when he gets his cog.
Yeah.
Because it shows him transforming. They mention Ratchet, but I don't think you see
Dr.
him.
Ratchet. No, you don't see
Dr.
him.
Ratchet.
But you can see a whole heap of them, like you can see a Hot Rod and Springer and an RC and a whole heap of them. They look really fucking cool. They did it really, really well. Yeah,
no, the original voice actor for Optimus is not in one.
Maybe I was just hallucinating.
Just wishful thinking.
Are you talking about Alpha Trion, the big old dude who does the speech?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's Lawrence Fishburne.
Oh, fair. I don't know why. My brain was like, that's Optimus Prime. Same time, I'm also an idiot, so...
I mean, Lawrence Fishburne's also a great actor.
Oh, he fucking is.
Yeah, no, the Peter... I want to say Cullen?
Yeah, Peter Cullen.
The original voice actor for Optimus Prime. He's not in the movie.
Oh, that's sad. But
I just dislike that they, like, in that last bit, they kept having Orion Pax's voice crack, like he's, like
it's going through puberty.
Up into Optimus. It was such a bad call. Don't do that. That was a bad idea.
One thing I actually did enjoy was their first attempt at transforming.
Yeah.
That was watching Bumblebee run. I need wheels.
And then
it was that perfect blend of comedy.
Wheels.
I kind of really enjoyed their take on B. He felt very Mikey-like, which kind of fit.
I'm super over Bumblebee.
He has been saturated everywhere,
and it was a little annoying that like suddenly like they can transform, they can do things, and instantly it's knife hand, blaster, battle mask, like everything's like bang 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 bang, and everyone's just still trying to punch and survive these fucking things, and shit's just stacking up. It's like
I did like the way it went down with Megatron though, for him to get his big like arm cannon.
Yeah,
gets to his big rage moment and then like fucking pops out for him. It's like, it's so good.
It was very well done.
He's fucking. I'm so glad most people probably didn't see the post-credit sequence for that because it's not good.
No. The it's a bit forced.
We were deceived, so we will be known as the Decepticons.
They had Decepticons.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
I did like they showed how he got the original Decepticon logo, though. Having it branded on him by... what's his
welded
face?
into him.
Yeah.
Or Sentinel.
Yeah.
I did hope like they'd like during the big battle scene they'd have like Optimus Prime pick up the big like black blaster, like you'd see him in I was hoping you'd pick up, but no. Granted they gave him the axe, which was cool, but I wanted the big fucking blaster.
The design of that axe is not good.
I don't like the design of it. The weird
blob ball thing to have the axe on it looks bad.
The ball
he
thing
should have pulled out an actual, even if it was an energy axe, but he's holding it.
Yeah.
I would have been more okay with.
I would have been fine with that.
But even like in the G1 cartoon, it replaced his hand. It literally just came out as a stem with a blade on the end of it. So it was just on the end of his arm. So if anything, they gave it a little more functionality by having it on the ball and make it fucking move and do shit. But it still looked weird.
Look, I'll give you that. But yeah, I don't think it looks good. I think it looks better when he holds it.
Yeah. They did stick pretty true to the original like Transformers, I think. Like the vibe was
as
still
much as
there.
you can.
Yeah. The vibe was definitely there for it. I liked it.
It's not really going to work if like Megatron turns into a gun.
No. Yeah. It's one of those things where like I read a lot of the Marvel comic stuff for Transformers because they have the
You mean IDW?
Yeah.
And there was some really good stuff there. Like the backstory was close to one of the origins they used.
The idea that they come up as miners, but it's heavily changed.
Yeah.
That
apparently it was a space wizard that created them at one point. So.
Well, and
I think my biggest criticism for that movie is one that I let go of because it's a movie.
Yeah.
And that's the heel turn for Megatron, specifically with Orion Pax, is a little too fast.
Yeah.
He does go mad with power
movie.
Very quickly, in my opinion. Like, the second he gets that first transformation, he just goes full heel.
Yeah, but, like, he just had his entire world rocked.
Yeah.
It's like, I get it. And that's why, like, I don't criticize, him, like, wanting to kill the Prime.
Sentinel,
Sentinel Prime. I don't have a problem with that. I don't have a problem with teaming up with a group of guys who are hanging out with Starscream, although I fucking love their Starscream. He was fun.
I loved the fact that they had Steve Buscemi.
Yeah, Steve Buscemi is Starscream.
It was great.
It's literally the bit where he's grabbed Orion as he falls off the edge.
Yeah,
and he goes, "I'm not going to save you anymore." Then why did you grab him?
Yeah.
That was the bit where I'm like, I don't feel like...
Because they needed that moment of him letting go of his past.
Yeah, I know why they did it, and it could have worked, but they hadn't shown enough in the movie
of him being saved.
Him having to save Orion, getting him out of trouble. So when he's sitting there being like, I'm not going to save you anymore, it's like, this doesn't work for me. But it's a movie.
Yeah.
And they've only got so much runtime. Yeah. And they've got to get around to it at some point.
It's also the only scene where you see any, like, actual destruction of, like, from gunfire. Like, so that where Orion Pax blows up is just, like, it's the only section where, like, that splatter up his face and the churn and everything. Like, it looked really fucking cool.
Although you'll also notice just after that scene where he lets him go, Megatron suddenly gets the 2 lines of oil down his face.
He does, yeah.
It's like, you were emotional in that scene, my guy.
And they've definitely set themselves up for a sequel, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Because, like,
a solid sequel.
We've got this new enemy of these weird bioship things. So, it is just like robot people versus meat people. So,
kind of.
Yeah.
Well, robots versus insects.
Like,
yeah.
We're still waiting. I don't think we've had full confirmation that we're going to get another one.
They'd
but
be
I definitely
mad if
think
they
I've
don't.
had some rumblings
because that was
about
really
it.
fucking good.
Yeah. I would really like to see more of it.
Yeah,
great
same.
fun.
You know what I'd really like to see less of?
What?
China putting out videos of fake robots.
Yeah!
The newest one doesn't even make sense.
What was the new
It's
one?
China's
was the
sci-fi fantasy time.
It's the one that looks like it's a skateboard on wheels that does a whole pile of, like, you could not make a robot that thin do these tricks up and down a mountain.
Oh, yeah, that thing. The weird quadruped one. Yeah.
It's clearly like they're trying to rip off Big Dog from Boston Dynamics.
Yeah.
But it's like, look, Big Dog is Big Dog because he's big. There's a lot of work that makes a robot be able to do those sort of things. This thing looks like you slapped a skateboard on extended wheels.
Pretty much, yeah.
What makes you think anyone thinks this is real?
Like, even if they had, like, a working prototype that looked like that, what the fuck is it going to be used for? What is its deal?
Well, they just keep doing dumb tricks with it.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, that's cool. Is it a toy? Is this a toy, like, China? What have you made? It's like, no, this is a serious drone.
You know, a lot of the Boston Dynamics stuff, they're pushing it around with, like, the hockey sticks and shit. It's like, it's cool to see it, like, balance itself and figure out how to not fall over.
Yeah.
This thing This thing looks like a toy ad.
It really does. It looks like the next biggest toy to hit the, the aisles. But I don't know what it's meant to be for, because I sent that to the group chat at one point. I'm like, just what is this? What is the? Do you ride it? Is that the point of it? What is this?
Like I said, it looks like it's a skateboard mounted on extended wheels. So.
Look, if you scale that bastard up, put a weird turtle head on it, you've got a really, really cool AT-AT. But that's about it. No, I don't know why they're doing this. They're just flooding the internet with these videos of very fake-looking robots.
Right, so I got 2 more things to quickly smash through before we get on to the last big thing for the episode. So this Saturday, Australia time, it's Friday, America time.
Yeah.
We finally get to see if Jake Paul gets murdered by Mike Tyson.
Oh god, I'm keen for that fight.
At the very least, he's gonna exacerbate the mental problems that Jake Paul has. He's got to rattle that fucking brain.
The thing is, there's no scenario where Jake Paul comes out looking good, which is why he's continued to do this. I don't understand.
I think
I understand what it is. No, yes, probably a little bit, but I think he also wants the ability to say he beat Mike Tyson.
Yeah,
and that's just it. Because there's a clip of his manager talking about how he's never actually beaten a world-class boxer.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, I beat this MMA guy.
Like, yeah, you beat an MMA guy. He's not a boxer.
Yeah.
It's just...
Like, that, you restricted, most of that guy's toolkit by having him box.
I love that.
And there's a difference between dude and fucking Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
Yeah. Guy's in his 80s and just fucking terrifying.
60s?
I have no idea.
Pretty sure he's only in his 60s.
He's much older than me and has punched far more people.
Yes.
So he's punched many a person. I don't want to piss him off.
But, either one of 2 things happens. He beats Mike Tyson, everyone calls rigged, and he doesn't get any of the publicity he actually wants.
Yeah.
Or he gets his ass handed by Mike Tyson, and everyone's like, we fucking told you.
Yeah. There is no way to win this.
Anybody watching that is only there to watch him get his head punched in. That's it.
Oh, 100%.
No one there is there to support him. They just want the bloodbath.
I think the only way that he survives this is if they add a clause in the contract, which is essentially if Tyson gets to pass a certain amount of rounds, he gets more money, just to keep him going. I can't kill you, but
Jake Paul's bragged about how it's not going to 16 minutes. Someone's getting knocked out.
Yeah, him.
He's openly bragged about it.
That list is a
He
number
is correct.
1.
Oh.
So there's no going to the bell to do a decision as far as Jake Paul's concerned. He's going to put fucking Mike on the map.
Well, the last time he went to the bell, he lost, didn't he? It was someone he was fighting.
Oh yeah, I remember the decision went against him, and he was railing against it in the ring at the decision.
Yeah.
Dude, a little bit of grace would have been good here.
There is such a thing as a poor loser.
When Tyson wins, he should be able to claim both Jake Paul's ears.
Yes. Make him a necklace.
Oh. So, the last thing before we get on to our big topic for the end of the episode. So, The Onion has bought InfoWars, and it's so funny.
I love it so much.
The best bit Alex Jones did a live stream as this auction was happening. I've got to assume, because it is known that there were actors bidding on it who were going to just give it to him. So I've got to assume his entire point there was, I'm going to get it back and I'm going to be able to show everyone live, this dude transfer this back to me.
Yeah.
And then The Onion won and he goes nuclear. It's so funny. Tomato mode, pulsing vein. It's so funny.
Yeah. Yeah, he went full on. It was fucking great.
And The Onion has stated that they're going to utilize it primarily as an anti-gun violence website.
Yes, because they were backed by the family of the Sandy Hook tragedy. So
yes.
It's they threw money at it. And it's that's a fucking good cause. I like that.
So basically, it looks like they're going to utilize, from what they've said, they're basically going to utilize the InfoWars brand to push back against the kind of right-wing misinformation.
The stuff that he was actively spreading, essentially.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Everything InfoWars has talked about, let's debunk it. Let's go.
Which is honestly the greatest thing to happen. Just to have someone that horrible be essentially like, right, we're taking this away from you and going against everything you ever believed in.
So, you know what's even funner? And I don't think it'll happen, but it could happen. So, they didn't just buy the InfoWars brand. They got everything to do with InfoWars.
Yeah.
The studio, all of the equipment, but most importantly, they own the entire backlog of episodes of InfoWars.
Oh, they can destroy his legacy.
They don't have to do anything with that, but imagine if someone was like, oh man, I want to do a defamation case against Alex Jones, and somewhere on his show he said these things. Hey, Onion, do you have that episode? Yeah, it's right here.
Here you go, bud. Oh, that's fucking amazing.
Yeah.
I'm so glad.
Or if they take every episode and just re-edit them to sound very opposite of what he was saying at the time, just completely change his whole message.
I wouldn't do that. That would definitely come up under like a defamation thing. You're literally putting words in his mouth at that point. What I could see them doing is going, here's an episode. And you know how there's a dude on Instagram who does it with like archaeological people who make bad calls?
Yes.
He'll like run them and then he'll stop the video and walk on screen and debunk it.
Yeah.
I could see someone doing a thing with InfoWars where he's like, they're making the friggin' frogs gay. Pause. Dude walks in. They're not.
I want
Walks
Adam
off screen
Conover
again.
to do this.
That would be the best.
Oh, that'd be amazing. Adam Conover just walking out. Actually, chemicals aren't making the frogs gay. I would be in for that. Just
So, shall we get on to the last major topic of this week's episode?
yeah.
Yes.
So, it's Book Week!
Yay.
Which means we're finally out of the
Spooky season.
double book Halloween special that I did.
The miasma of Sith.
The reset.
I did.
The great reset.
Look, apparently you guys like both books. Since you liked The Great and Secret Show last time, and you've been telling me you kind of liked this one with the Books of Blood.
The variety was fun. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Welcome to Clive Barker.
It was very different to the style of books I would normally listen to, like content, even style, and I really enjoyed it.
And they were so very different in their stories as well.
Oh, very much so.
He's...
Let's say the one I think it's one of the first books with the demonic Dobby. He turned him into a Dobby. That just I'm listening to the whole thing. It's like, fuck, where is this going? What is coming of this? And then it's like, oh, that's where he's now a house elf. That's golden.
I had the phrase "K Sarah Sarah" stuck in my head for a long time because of that. And I love just the fact that this demon thing's, I will corrupt him, I will make him insane, and just he's doing it to it in the same way. It's just like, why won't he react to anything? I loved it. The one that stuck with me for like the entire length of the book was the pig one, Pig Blood Blues, I think it's called. But that one was fucked. Like, I don't know what it was in my head. It's like, you remember this one specifically. It's like, oh, okay, thank you, brain. It's great to think about randomly in the middle of the night. But, like, so a cop working at this boys' school, and turns out they are worshipping a pig that ate a student and is now possessing the pig. Yeah, Clive Barker.
Yeah. It's he has a really good ability to lure you in with like normal stuff, and then it just gets fucking bizarre.
It's absurd so quickly,
but not in the what's that horror writer everyone likes that I think is shit?
The guy who made the lamp monster,
Stephen King.
Yeah, that one.
Unlike Stephen King, where it's like, and it's a weird spooky thing, and it may or may not be real. It's like Clive Barker's like, no. We're going to be normal, and then you're going to go into the pit and keep digging down until you find the actual dark shit.
Yeah.
Last time we were talking about this, when we were talking about last book, you guys wanted to guess which one was my favorite story from Books of Blood 1.
Oh, fuck, that's right. We were going to try and pick that one. Honestly, I am not entirely... I couldn't pick which one specifically. Which makes me sad.
Just for the the setting, and I'd almost say the theater, because that was one of my other favorite ones, and it just the setting and like it is a spooky, creepy thing, but it's almost ends on a hopeful note of like they're going out in the world to do their own spooky, creepy thing. And I really enjoyed that, and I thought you'd get a kick out of that, because it's not just it's horror and everything's dead. It's like dead people going, I just enjoy your thing. You got to enjoy it regardless, because I'm dead and I ain't fucking stopping.
I loved the ending of that. Was like, where should we go next? I want to go to Swansea. My mother was like buried there. She never got to see me perform. Fuck it, we're off there then. And it's just,
I really like the ending of that one. When I got to the end of that,
that was good.
Yeah, I don't know, that one just resonated with me, and I thought that would be a.
My favorite one was actually the last one, the one with the two towns that Voltron together into giant fighting.
Oh yeah, fuck.
That one I just thought was a comedy. I just
the imagery of that one, just resonated so well in my mind that I could see it, and the idea when they actually like the one that falls over and dies, and this whole idea of like it hemorrhaging bodies like blood, it's like. This is just some really weird imagery that's really working for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. That one just, that's the one that stuck in my mind. Was this idea that all these people, like, you have to have, like, the strong men on the bottom because they have to be able to hold up this entire town of people.
Yes. Oh, God. He has such a strange but fun mind.
And that's another one where it's just like, what's the initial plot of this story? Two gay guys going on a country drive?
Yeah.
What's it end with? At a giant Voltron of people collapsing and dying while one of them runs mindlessly into the hills.
Oh, goddamn.
Yeah, no, I would like. I've read some of the other books of Blood. They're pretty good if you like that sort of thing. You'll probably see them show up again in future. South can't remember. Forgot to pick a book. Fuck it, another Book of Blood, let's go.
Well, next time we fuck up the order again, have to reset at Halloween.
They are our reset books now.
Yeah.
Well, there's a bunch of them. How many Books of Blood has he done?
I definitely saw
there's 6 of them.
Yeah. I remember seeing 5, but there was
that's just the start of an encyclopedia of blood.
Exactly.
And I mean, that's just like one set of books that he's done. He's done other like compilation storybooks as well. So we've got a few if we want to go down that path later.
Yeah.
But I figured you guys would kind of dig, like, I think I figured out you guys kind of like anthology horror books a bit more than just a book.
I don't know,
they do well as anthologies. Just that nice dip your toe in and then go into something different.
Well, the chop and change, like, for short bursts, if there's one book that's like a little, one story I'm not quite into, it's good that it's only going to last a little bit. But that Great and Secret show was just like, this is creepy and weird, and it just keeps going. It's like, holy fuck, this needs to keep going. So
it's one of the few horror books like I've ever contemplated putting on this show because I knew it would be weirdly compelling enough to get you guys through it.
Yeah.
Because while it's not an anthology book, it kind of almost feels like one.
Yeah. It really does. It moves so over such vast distances, essentially. It's like, this is interesting.
And then, I've got things like Books of Blood, and I mean, I kicked this whole thing off with Haunted.
Yeah. I've recommended Haunted to so many people. I enjoyed that.
Really?
I have, yeah. It's like, you want a weird book? It's Halloween. Read something weird.
I've got the strangest thing you'll ever read.
You'll be deathly afraid of all the swimming pools for the foreseeable future. Yeah!
God damn it.
See, and that was the least weird one for me, because, like, that was an old horror story.
Yeah,
you'd
but
tell
the way
kids,
they
it's like, don't go near the filter fence. Yeah.
It's more that, like, the way it's written is so visceral.
Yeah.
It's just like, damn it. I think I told you guys way back when I first recommended that book, that was the story that almost made me stop eating food.
Yeah.
It's just like, no, I'm not okay with this description. Please stop while I'm eating.
Oh, God.
Alright, so
the next book. I believe John Doe has this month's book, because we're back on sequence.
Of course, and we're going back. It's not quite lit RPG, it's Cultivation.
It's
It's still building power to be a bigger, better version of you. Yay!
Yeah.
This is the Stargazer's War series. First book is To Fail Against Infinity. Crikey. By J.P. Valentine. Nice.
Yeah.
Blurb. Infinite power, infinite danger. Growing up mortal, but only knew a few things about cultivators, like they like their hierarchies and hate disrespect. And if you leave one out in deep space long enough, they'll go homicidically insane. It turns out there's a reason for that. Away from all the gravity wells and biospheres that generate natural energy, things just get quiet enough to notice the infinite ocean of ki entirely incompatible with your own. I should know, I've seen it. The only difference is I didn't go mad. I wasn't a cultivator. Technically, I wasn't even alive. But now I can sense it, I can touch it, I can cultivate it. So it's, yeah. I like a little bit of sci-fi. I like a little bit of weirdness. So
I like the sound of it. It's like cultivation in space.
yeah. Cultivation in space.
Space monk.
I would say most of my favorite sort of this style of books are actually cultivation ones. I found them more interesting than lit RPGs. I feel like I think it's probably because cultivation, you've got to really make the cultivation compelling. Yeah. Because it's generally an awful lot of people sitting around doing nothing.
Yeah. Well, cultivation's also,
lit RPG,
you have to work for it. Whereas lit RPG is stat blocks.
Yeah, I killed a bunch of things, so I got more numbers, and now my numbers are bigger. And cultivation is very much a different way of doing things.
So I've tended to gravitate personally a little more toward cultivation RPGs.
Yeah.
So the idea that there's one in space,
yes,
is just like, yes, I'm absolutely in for that.
Most definitely, I'm keen for this one.
Yeah, so that's the next book. Yeah, there's a few other books I think you'd enjoy that I've listened to if you like cultivators. So cool, I'll tell you about them later.
Although I'm looking at J.P. Valentine's other works, and I think I might have to read his other book series as well. Just off the titles. So there's another series he's got called This Trilogy is Broken, and it's the books are called The Quest is Broken, This Class is Broken, This Guild is Batty, and This Plot is Bananas.
Nice.
Another one I listened to a while ago, I can't remember if we had it as a book of the month, was Unsold in the Cradle series.
That sounds familiar.
It's like, I don't even know, what is it? It's 12 books, and it's all cultivation, and it's really good. So, as a bonus book to listen to.
We're doing... The one we're doing this time is To Fail Against Infinity, The Stargazer's War, Book 1. And I'm looking forward to that. It's definitely... I love sci-fi. I like cultivation. It sounds absolutely up my alley.
Same.
Yeah.
Alright, well, we're out past now, so I think we'll wrap things up. Y'all have a good one.
Bye!
See ya.